Hello everyone and welcome back to Big Bear Gear Reviews. Today I want to talk a little bit about Ganzo knives in general, what I feel about them and what I see in them, and touch a little bit about the fh91 that just came out, which 81, sorry, that I really like, though it's kind of a goofy knife. That's this one for all y'all who don't know what I'm talking about. It's an interesting knife, and that's saying the least. But let's get to that one. Let's talk a little bit about Ganzo. When I first met Ganzo, it was actually with the fh759S, which is this knife but with semi-serrated. I had one with a black handle. I believe I did a review about it. This one is still from the days when they were doing clones, or copies more. The clones have their logo. They write their own logo. This is a copy of a Spyderco knife. They were doing a really good job. I also believe they were making some of these for Spyderco. I don't know for sure. And you have, this is in 440C. See, focus. Okay, anyhow, this one is in 440C. It's one of my favorite beater knives, one to lend out to someone. It's just a nice, all-purpose, small blade to lend out. After a while, the Spyderco were basically making clones of other knives. They came out with a few of their own designs. The first one of them being this one. Also, still in 440C, really great action. I love it. It was a very fidgety knife at its time. Still is, actually. I don't know why I said was. Why won't my camera focus on that? Let me try this. Okay. Come on, focus. Okay, I'm going to have to take it off. This is the FB760, again, 440C steel. It's a good, robust knife. It was their first, I believe this was their first of their own design. Came out, there was a nice knife. I really liked it. It came out with, it's a decent, basically covers most of your EDC needs. That was that. Then they came out a little while later with their own designs in the in D2, which was something I really liked. D2 is a steel I like. They came out with a really good tempering, with a really good D2. They came out with the fh11, which I bought, and I was stupid enough to buy it with carbon fiber, knowing that I don't like carbon fiber. I find it very slippery. I don't have that knife. I gave it off to a friend. They do have the fh11, the fh12 are basically the same knife in stainless steel casing, in stainless steel handles, or in different carbon fibers and G10 colors. You can get it. It was a nice knife. I didn't really like the ergos on it. Not that they were bad. I personally didn't like them. Then they came out with the fh21, which I don't have. I have the fh41, which is very similar. It's basically the fh11 upgraded with contour G10, a different blade style, also in D2. Will it focus on this? Let's see. Can I get it to focus? I have focus problems with these cameras. Come on, focus. There we go. As you can see, the fh41 made by Ganzo. It's a Firebird knife. That's what they're calling their own designs. Well, I think that's what they're calling all their knives now, but it's a really nice EDC knife. It's very, everyday use, pocket oriented for what you need. They have the fh31, which is a little different. The reason I don't carry it as much is because it's so chunky. It's mainly a flipper design, but you could, pinch it open. I did add a brass thumb stud to it because I really liked the, when I had the knife, when I was using it every day, which I was carrying this knife for a little over a month. There we go. It's a really good knife. It's still, dirty, probably a little rust because it is D2 and I haven't used it for a while, which is thrown in a drawer. But deep carry, I did a video on this knife. I really like it. My problem with carrying it is it's wide, it's not really thin. It takes up a lot of pocket space. So I stopped carrying that one. When I got the 41, I started carrying this one, which is the fh41. And it was narrow, it did the job. It felt a little more flippery. I think the ball bearings in this one were, and still are, a little looser than the ones in this one, which are a little stiffer. I think it also has to do something with the weight of the blade. It still flies open. It just is not as fidgety. And, well, being hyperactive, I'm very fidgety with my knives. Then Ganzo came out with what's possibly, in my eyes, one of the best small EDC knives they could put out, which is the fh51, the one right here. it is almost perfection of a small EDC blade for me. You can do finger, you know, the small precise cuts. You can pretty much whittle with it. It's very comfortable. The handle is really nice. The ergos on it are nice. It fidgets. It's lightweight, small. When it's in your pocket, the only reason you'll know it's in your pocket is when you reach into your pocket to take it out, you'll feel it. Otherwise, it doesn't weigh anything. It's beautiful, D2, good steel, good blade. I've sharpened it once or twice. It's easy to take the edge, keeps an edge really well. It's a good knife. Then they came out with the next number, which is the the 61, which is a little more of a fun. It flies open almost like it's an automatic. It's crazy. There's no spring in it. It's ball bearings, but they are so, such a snappy blade. It flies open so nicely. You have a finger choil up there for a small knife. It's great. You can do the finger, and it's a little more of a goofy looking knife while still staying very utilitarian with that tanto shape. It's not really American or real tanto. It's somewhere in the middle. It's a modified tanto. You have a finger, you know, groove. It's a little hard to flick it because there's a really strong detent, but it's a really great knife. I do believe I did a quick overview of this knife on my channel too. It's a nice knife. It flies open. It does what it's supposed to do. It's nice. It's sharp. I used it for when I was working in a smokehouse a lot for you know, tasting the meat when it just comes off the smoker. That is good. But it's a good knife. It fits in your hand, even though I have a large size hand. Even if I'm not using the finger choil, I can get a 3.5 finger grip on it with my pinky just folding over, but it doesn't feel wrong. If I use a finger choil, your hand just sits in it properly. You want to go to a cutting, even if you're gonna use, I mean, small blades not really that good as a tactical. It's comfortable in almost any position I've had it. Upside down, not as much, but it's a great knife. And you can see I don't clean my knives. This one has some surface rust. I should clean that off. I just want to, you know, I throw them in a drawer and then I don't carry them for a while. After that knife, Ganzo came out with the next knife, the 71, which I really love. This one sits in my pocket. I think probably it gets the most pocket time out of all of my knives. This one. It's only a flipper. I should add to it one of those brass tabs that I have on this one. I might take this one off and put it on here just because I get a thumb stud. But it's fidgety, it's sharp, it's the shape. It's a little larger, it's a little longer, yet it stays slim. It is a really, really good everyday carry knife. It cuts food, it cuts wood. I use it a lot now to cut string in my current job. I just love this knife. It sits in my pocket. It's deep carry. It's not, you don't not realize that it's there, but it's not a hindrance in your pocket. It's a really, really nice knife. And now to Ganzo's newest knife, the fh81. When I saw the picture of it, I realized this knife is them trying to meme the world. It's so goofy that it works in a funny way. This is the knife. Close, it looks like, you know, it's going to be some type of a cleaver. You have that plastic wave feature, which you can take off if it's not legal in your country. If you want to see, there's a few, I think Love Them Knives took his apart so you can see how it looks. Really snappy action, very, you know, not snappy, what's the word I'm looking for? Smooth. Very smooth opening. But that blade, I don't know what to say. I mean, if you look at it from the stock, it looks like they made the blade the whole way and just cut part of it off. You have a front finger choil, which when you use it, your thumb is uncomfortably pushed against the plastic or pushed down on it, and it's very slippery. It looks like a modern ninja knife. I don't know what else to say. It's not, it doesn't fit the bill for a cleaver, which Ganzo have done really well with one of their own designs, the F755. That's this one here. It's a really nice pocket cleaver. When I carry pocket cleavers, I love this one. I mean, it doesn't weigh as much as 99% of pocket cleavers. Gives you all what you need from pocket cleaver. You have the finger choil if you want to choke up for carving, which this knife is phenomenal at. You can use it for food prep. I've done that. It's a, sorry, I want to close it like it's a liner lock. It's a really nice knife. It's fidgety and it's not too scary. You pull this out in the middle of the road, you're cutting an apple. If you don't have an apple, people will offer you one with this knife. You pull this knife out, people are going to start laughing at you. This knife looks weird. I mean, the handle is comfortable, very, you know, comfortable, but the blade is wonky. It's not a very useful shape. You can't use it in anything other than, well, very simple EDC tasks. There is a point here which which I do like, but I tried using it for digging and piercing a little, and it just does, it's off center so much that to get it to work it feels wrong. I prefer using a screwdriver for anything like that. Yeah, the screwdriver off my Swiss Army tool or Leatherman. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice knife, and I'm not sorry I bought it. It's interesting, it's weird. It has a wave feature which should only be used on tactical knives. It has no use anywhere else. I mean, the extra quarter second it takes to open your blade, that wave feature, is really just a waste of time and a waste of space on the knife. If you ask me, they should have just made it flat. Would have made the knife look a little better. But it's weird, it's raunchy. That's what I'm saying about it. I hope Ganzo don't make more of these knives. I really do. Ganzo started making Chinese knives, at least in my opinion, serious, not very expensive Chinese knives, because you have Wies, you have Savivis, you have Artisans. They're high-end Chinese knives. Ganzo are not high-end Chinese knives, which they started making mid-range Chinese knives, not, you know, Mall Ninja cartoonish blades. They first started off with clones, but when they came out with their own stuff, they weren't something that I would want to see in a gas station. These are knives that I would actually take to work. Use them when I go to do something. Even the cleaver, I had a portable chef's bag. I carried that knife in it. But this is I'm surprised the blade isn't golden blue coated with a funny metal and a can opener stuck on it, or a bottle opener. That's what this knife looks like. That's me ranting about this knife. Ganzo have done a great job till now. This knife is no, I do not like it. It's just, well, wrong. I mean, it's fun, it's fidgety, but a knife is not supposed to be a fidget toy only. Don't get me wrong, it is a fidget toy. But for a knife, I prefer to carry something that also can be used in more than one or two scenarios, where this knife struggles in so many of them. Anyhow, thank you for watching the video. I hope to be doing more videos in the near future. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you think about Ganzo knives in general, their new weird knives and a bunch of other stuff. And thank you for watching.